studied in IIT Madras, and I think right from the school days, math was one of my favorite subjects. Right, and uh, during my college years in IIT, I figured out operations research or optimization, as we know it now, is one of the applications of math because I always used to wonder where is it applied. Right, so it gave me a very applied point of view on math, and that's how I kind of got into the field because I was very clear I want to work in this field. What I pursued at IIT Madras was actually a dual degree. It was both bachelor's and master's. My major was in biotechnology. I think that time biotech had the same buzz like AI, right? But and operations research was my minor stream. But the level of enjoyment and motivation I got from operations research, uh, I kind of decided this is where I want to be. So got into Sabre in an operations research team. So back in those days, I don't think AI ML terminology was so much of a buzz, but it was more math, stats, traditional machine learning and optimization. So that's how I kind of got into the field. Swiggy was not even founded at that point, I think. So I joined a company called Sabre, which was into airline industry, right? You can think of everything from scheduling to pricing, all of the traditional problems, high scale problems, which was solved. I think airline industry is one of the first ones to apply a lot of data driven decisions. So I got into Sabre, almost spent my first 10 years in the airline industry, in the travel industry. After that, moved to Ola, which was into ride sharing, and then finally into Swiggy, I think in 2020 during the COVID period. I had a brief stint at X to 10X as well, which was Benny Banson's second venture. It was into a space where you help growing or scaling startups, with multiple areas. And my role was to establish data science teams, pick the data strategy, and first few problems you need to focus on as a scaling startup. So it gave me a little bit experience on the consulting side of things, where I worked with a bunch of startups in the ecosystem, right? And that did increase the breadth of view of different kinds of problems AI can be applied on. And after that, I joined Swiggy. 2020, right in the middle of the lockdown. Very good in terms of purpose because I think Swiggy was one of the companies which was making lockdown less painful, where things were coming home, food was coming home, you could pick up and drop food using Genie. So it really made me feel there is a purpose to what we are doing. If you look at the industries I have been in, they are mostly those where I can also see the impact of the work as a customer myself. I think when you see that loop getting completed, where you work on a problem and then it has a certain business impact, and you also get to bear the fruit of it as a customer, it kind of completes that cycle for me, and that drives me the most, I would say. And some people even joke about it that if you look at all the industries, people are moving from either people or things are moving from one place to another, planes, rides, or now anything of convenience. Generative AI came in and AI became so much of a buzzword in the news. I think for Swiggy to be able to run at that scale, right, for so many customers and so many services, not adopting AI is not even an option, right? So I think right from the beginning, I think Swiggy would have been one of those early movers where AI is being used behind the scenes almost at every point you can think of, whether it's the customer journey or partner journey, just to make it feel a little bit real right from the time you open the app, right? You have the app has to locate you and figure out even what to show you on the homepage. Right from that point to when your order gets delivered, even post order if you have any issues, right? So this entire journey is filled with bunch of AI models powering almost decisions in real time, like millions of predictions per second, I would say. Swiggy as a company also invested a lot in the engineering side of things to even make AI possible at that scale, right? When we think of even platforms to make sure the data is engineered the right way, it's architected the right way, serving multiple models at scale where data scientists themselves can own models in production. So we have a data science platform built in. So I think some of those early investments into just laying the foundation right to be able to do AI at scale, I think is one of the primary reasons. To even own the models in production, have the right tracking mechanisms in real time to be able to respond to anything that's going wrong. That is also in the DNA of the organization. So I think both these parts put together is what is helping handle that scale. From even like when I was at Ola and now here, have been a user of AWS, and very deep partnership as well for Swiggy, right? And we even have folks from AWS sitting with us in the office and kind of always brainstorming newer ideas. Now, in we recently also did a hackathon on some of the AI initiatives. And one of the good things was whether it's tech or non-tech, all folks participated and built AI based solutions, and we did leverage AWS solutions for that. And really hopeful now AI is not just a niche part of just one team working on it, but it will spread across organization with this partnership. See, AWS has had solutions enabling data scientists from beginning, like from the SageMaker days itself. I think access to different kinds of foundational models that we have in place so that you can do quick trials. Like I think Amazon Bedrock has been enabling that for us, because now it's even more important. The way the world is moving faster, there is a new model every day as you speak. When Claude 3.7 came in, really good in reasoning and coding, for example. So being able to switch to the latest and explore becomes one of the fundamental requirements, and I think Bedrock is enabling that, which is very, very important. See, if you look at the customer's journey on Swiggy, right from the point of recall, like when you have a need, do you think of Swiggy, right? Right from that point, in terms of making sure your performance marketing is right, so that you reach the right targeted audience for the right needs, to the point of like when you come onto the app, are you discovering the right things, are you able to find what you want, whether you're searching for it or the naturally page is loading for you with a bunch of options, how is it merchandised. All of this needs a very deep understanding of the customer, as well as what you're offering, whether it's food, whether it's grocery, or any of the e-commerce items in quick commerce. And AI models recently have enabled to understand both very deeply, right? With the world knowledge laid over your own data and historic transaction knowledge, right? And that enables matching these two in real time, and that I think makes the customer experience very, very smooth. The internet moment came, that was a big leap, and it brought that paradigm shift. The paradigm shift that AI is bringing is, I see two, three things happening, right? One, across different functions, even within an organization, who can do what, the lines are getting blurred. Today, with the power of AI, let's say a product manager can think of a great user experience the person can enable, can quickly prototype using a AI tool. You can design, you can launch it, you can experiment it very fast. So just the speed of idea to impact has really gotten cut short. Trend will only become much more adopted as now every function is enabled, right? Second thing I think is the whole access to data and insights is getting faster, which means the decisions you make are a lot more data driven, and with lesser and lesser dependency on just one function or one team providing you the data. That will also significantly change the way you make decisions, you think of products that you want to build. And third thing I see is customers' expectations are also getting more and more and tougher, and more instantaneous. Overall patience level is much lower than now that everything is available in 10 minutes, right? So that means you have to really enable experiences at a high scale with higher accuracy and higher speed. I think AI is helping you handle much better, and I only see us moving in that direction much more. A decade ago, I think we were still solving problems with AI, but probably we were building very bespoke models to solve specific problems, right? For example, a named entity recognition was a separate model, sentiment analysis was a separate model. But I think what has happened with all the foundational models coming in is There's one powerful model that can enable really multiple use cases, and building on top of it has become much easier. In terms of productivity of just how much one can do with the new code gen tools and the level of adoption we are seeing, people are really more productive now, giving you time to go deeper, to think more creatively. Probably a code that used to take 2 3 days to write earlier, now you can write it in 30 minutes. Hence the time is getting used to build more, think more deeply about how you can solve problems. And the third bit is in just the content part of it, right? It's much more enriched with these models, where your understanding of what a particular product is has widened, so you can meet the customer where they are than customer having to really look for what they want. See, apart from just being the cloud provider, I think where it's really helping is the partnership in picking a few very challenging problems and solving them together. For example, within Swiggy, we have launched a tool called Hermes, which is a natural language querying tool where anybody can come and ask a question about data in natural language, like what is this particular metric looking like for the last 7 days, kind of a question. And you can get immediate response. The AI model is going to the back end, fetching the data and giving you the results, right? And that really enables productivity across the org. And this is something that got enabled through the partnership we built on it. Then recently, you would have seen on the Instamart side of things, we launched an gifting assistant, which is a bot which helps you really explore. You can say, I want to look at gifts for brother, right? And we launched it on Rakhi actually. And the bot almost can have a conversation with you, help you explore, find the right thing to really give. So for exploratory categories, it makes huge sense, and that is something we built in partnership, right? So some of these deeper problems you take, you launch, you experiment, you work on it together. I think that partnership is really enabling us. For a lot of deterministic tasks, definitely there is a productivity jump. Where it's also helping is, I think we are gradually going back to the earlier times where offline you used to go and interact with a shopkeeper, for example, and have that conversation, find what you want, discuss options. So I think now it's becoming a lot more interactive that way as customers, rather than dealing with a machine where you're putting a search term, you're applying filters. It can be much more flowing, just like your interactions offline. I think online world is also coming into that. Rather than retrieving what customer wants, it's becoming a lot more generative. Depending on the customer, you can really hyper personalize your content. Let's say you land in Goa and you open a Swiggy app and you're really looking to buy some beachwear and sunscreen and all that. It should open up on the homepage. That kind of an experience you can enable now with the power of AI and the data that you have. I see AI as still a tool, right? And every time new tools have come in, humans have really leveraged those tools and did something else, right? Even if we take the olden days when fire was discovered, when wheels were discovered, later computers were discovered. I think now with that time and productivity, at least humanity is resilient to do much more. It's dependent on how you use it, what you leverage it for. uh, that's really going to change the course of where we go from here, is my belief. It's definitely moving at a very, very fast pace that for one person to keep track of everything is nearly becoming impossible. But of course, there are a few ways. One definite source is my team. If you have a great team, you're always curious, exploring, you'll always be at the edge where somebody is trying what's the latest and greatest and saying how it's doing, can we really apply it, etc. That's a huge source of both motivation and learning for me. Second, of course, there are AI tools which can summarize all the things you have subscribed to and give you a summary. So leverage AI to know more about AI. That's a little bit like an inception. I really love dancing, and I'm a huge Bollywood fan. So, like, I recreate moments from movie. So I have a different side of me on the personal side, which doesn't go with all the techie stuff. But of course, I do believe a lot in curiosity and learning, whether at work or outside work. It's always important to continuously keep learning, whether it's from people you meet or things you read. It's very important for every person to think in a customer backward manner. Sometimes we go technique or tool forward to say, where can I apply this tool? It's almost like you have a hammer and you're seeing which nail to hit. We should be a lot more customer backward in imagining, reimagining experiences for the customer, and start from the problem and then go to the solution to find the tool. Just going by the way of saying, now there is AI, tomorrow there'll be something else, and let's go and apply it everywhere. Where can I have? It's like a solution looking for a problem will not work. Data scientist, engineer, product, whoever is working in the field needs to be very much aware of to say, can I think customer backward? First, think of the customer problem and then the solution. I mean, it is inspirational, the whole journey, right? I think some of the leaders within Swiggy as well, there are many leaders who came from Amazon, and some of the cultural bits of Amazon are also kind of ingrained. This is one of the waves, like when I was saying internet was a wave, then cloud computing was a wave, and AWS kind of led that wave, right? And now we have come to the AI wave, and I think providers like AWS will play a huge role because whatever you unlock, it will help you unlock at scale for all the companies you're working with. And that's how the AI wave can become successful in some ways. So I do see AWS playing a crucial role in that. 2030 is still far, but I think in the very, very short term, what I see happening is people are calling 2025 the year of agentic AI, right? We'll see a lot more innovation in the application and the use cases layer. There was one wave of foundation models, then there was another wave of just the infra for running these models at scale. I think those will continue, but I think the application layer, seeing many more coming from proof of concepts to production at scale use cases. Each of us in my family have different tastes, so anytime we're ordering at least three different orders. I think Instamart is a much more frequent use case, almost on a daily basis, I would say. But food, maybe, the entire weekend, pretty much Swiggy is serving us.